everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would just film today. I am going to be setting up my everyday carry planner. So this is my A6 Compagna. It's a Gillio and it's in the colour Rust. And this is the planner that I carry around everywhere with me day to day. I've already taken out the old inserts that I'm going to be replacing. They ended up being quite a chunk. This doesn't include dailies because I take those out more frequently. But yeah, so I've already done a little bit of a purge of the old inserts. If you want to see a full flip of this setup, I do have one on my channel, and then I have it's quite an in-depth one, it's like an hour long, and then I have a shorter flip of my current setup on my Instagram on IGTV as well. So let's dive straight in. I've got quite a lot of inserts here to input, so let's just get to it because otherwise we're going to be sticking around for ages. So the first section in here is my inbox, and I use the Peanuts Planico 5 category lists. I've actually taken out the last category and haven't decided what I'm going to put in there. Because I used to have it as actioned, but when I complete something I actually highlight it off. So I decided to take that one out, and I've not decided what I'm going to put in there yet. I use kind of a little bit of the Getting Things Done method by David Allen for this sort of thing. So I have urgent, someday, scheduled and delegated. And that's just the first thing that goes in there. And then after that I have this little vellum. I'm going to leave that in there, though it's getting a bit ratty. And then I also have this little tab that says inbox on it, and this has just got, actually, do you know what, I'm going to swap this round. I am going to put this before my actual inbox page. So this tab that has the, I'm going to take that out, that has the post-it notes on. This is basically when I need to quickly write something down and I'm not open on a page on my planner, I will just go to this tab and I will write it on these post-it notes. It then gets transferred either to the inbox page or to a daily page or a weekly page and so on. So that's my inbox. We're going to give that a little bit of a rejig. Then the next section of my planner is my schedule. I'm going to keep the artwork the same. The first thing that I put in here is a yearly fold out. This one is from Peanuts Planico. It's part of her dated yearly bundle. I can't do the undated one. I just pay for the dated one. I find it easier. I do need to go through and fill out birthdays and important like renewal days and things in here. But for now I'm just going to pop that in. Then the next section that I have is monthly. I use a monthly that I make myself. So and it's sort of a month on 2 pages. I have 2 different like calendars down this side, and then a visual representation of the calendar and a couple of trackers down at the bottom. And then in the middle what I do is I put a habit tracker. This one is from Simple and Trendy Co, and I just have the main things that I'm working towards for the next year on there, and I will just check them off as I go. I am actually going to put in a couple more months at the beginning of this year than I normally would. So normally I only keep a couple of months worth in my planner, but this year I'm actually going to start off the year with the first 6 months, so I'm going up to June. I can always take them out if I find that I need more room, but for now that's what I'm going with. Then we go to my weeklies. I do only put these in enough for the current month. I'm not going to put in weeks and weeks worth because I also use daily pages. So the weekly that I'm using at the moment, actually, do you know what, I'm going to put in this little piece of vellum to split the monthly and the weekly. So the weekly that I'm using is again a homemade one. This is slightly different to the one that I had been using for 2020. I've basically taken out the habit tracker at the bottom because it was just too small and I wasn't using it. I prefer to see habits on like a monthly or a yearly basis, so I've moved those over to my monthly. And then I've just extended the week of section. If you're new here, I use one side of this for personal and one side of this for work, appointments, events, and so on. And then on this side, I've got a various different to-do lists and things that I can use to track my important things for the week. And I'm just going to put my weekly tab in the middle there. Then we get to the dailies. So I'm going to take out my today tab, and I'm actually going to put it on the first day of the year. At the moment, I'm still using an old Hobonichi. The one that I was taking pages out of for the end of 2020 is a 2019, but it was a spring start, so I've still got 3 months worth in that planner. I'm going to keep using it and then buy a new spring start when I need to get some more. I just find that they're really working for me. They're Tomoe River, so they're nice paper, they're thin. I can keep like a whole month in here without it being too bulky, and I'm just really enjoying them. So I'm just going to leave those in there. The next section is my shop section. I don't actually have anything that is calendar related in there. I just have like design notes and stuff. So I'm going to leave that as it is. And then we come to my work section. So there are a couple of things that I'm switching up in my work section. I've already rewritten my inbox because it was old and needed refreshing. So I've rewritten that ready. And then the next thing that I'm changing up this year, I was using a reoccurring tasks checklist for my work things that need doing, but some of them are monthly and some of them are weekly, some of them are every 2 months, every 3 months. So I decided that I wanted to switch to the weekly. This is from the Peanuts Planner Co, and I believe it's called the day specific tasks checklist, and it basically has all 52 weeks on it. So what I can do is for ones that are, you know, weekly. I mean, I've even got some on here that are daily, but I'm not going to check that off daily. I'm just going to make sure that I've done them all for the, once I've done them all for the week, I'll check that off. But yeah, so the things that are weekly, I've got here, things that are monthly, that I don't do, that someone else comes to do, but I need to keep track of whether they're getting done. And then other bits and bobs that need doing as well. I'm just popping that in there so that I've got that ready. The next thing that I'm going to update is actually, I'm going to leave all of my reference information as it is. I don't need to update the reference information. It's there because it's reference. When it stops being relevant, I take it out anyway. So I don't need to do anything there. What I do need to do is get to this back section here. And this back section in my work section contains a few important bits. So I have in here, I'm just going to flip over. Here we go. So I have my working hours for 2020. I'm actually going to keep that in there for now because I want to be able to have that to refer back to for the first couple of months. But I've already done a working hours 2021, so I'm going to tuck that in there. The next thing that I'm going to put in here is this monthly horizontal sheet. This one is from Simple and Trendy Co. And I use this to track the hours that I do on each day. And then I transfer the total number or whether I've worked over or under onto that yearly sheet, this one here. But I like to have a larger format for the actual month that I'm in. The next thing that I'm adding in here is an expenses tracker. I don't submit a huge amount of expenses, not enough to do a sheet per month. So I tend to just keep a sheet that I can then add things on as I go. And then finally, oh no, I've got two more. So the first one that I'm adding here is an annual leave tracker. I had this written in a notebook this year, and actually I just needed it to be in here really. So I've basically taken a Peanuts Planner Co. 3 category list and added 2 extra columns. I needed them to be bigger, so I didn't want to use the 5 one. So I'm basically going to put in my basic entitlement, and then for each I'll put the date of when I take the leave here, and then how many hours it is, how many remain, whether I've put the appointment on Outlook, whether I've submitted it on our HR system, and whether I've actually taken that time off. Then finally, I've got a little passwords tracker. I actually tend to keep most of my passwords in my phone under like face security, but some passwords I need to actually physically refer to them to actually see them while I'm doing something else. So I've put that in there so that I can put a few of those in there if I want to. Next up, we're at the home section, and we're going to tackle the money section first. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take out this key. So I am no longer tracking my incomings and outgoings in my planner, because I've switched to using a digital budgeting system. So what I am doing instead is it's all going through there, so I don't need that little category tracker anymore. I can do that myself. I'm going to leave in this little dashboard by Hannah's shop, because one of the things that I'm going to be doing this year is a no spend. So I'm going to be trying to keep my order tracker at 0. So what I've got a fresh order tracker here. I am going to pop one in. I have some things that I need to transfer to it that haven't arrived yet, but I am going to pop that in there. But what I'm going to do before that is I am actually going to put my 2020 no spend tracker in front of it. And this has got the details. So I'm not doing a complete no spend. I'm basically saying no planner stuff, except for certain things. I will also allow myself to top up on stickers if I run out of a certain type. I'm also saying no takeaway coffee, because that's a serious habit of mine, and no impulse junk food, including cake and donuts and sausage rolls and things like that. So I'm going to put those right at the front. Then the next section that I have in here is my debt repayment trackers that I'm basically paying down some credit card debt basically, and I'm doing really well with it, so I just keep a physical tracker in there. I have 2 more inserts to put into this section. So I have my monthly payments tracker. So I've got sort of like my bills, basically my monthly bills. So actually I'm going to put that in there. And what I've done this year is I used to just have it as one great big list, but what I've done is I have these payments coming out of 2 different accounts. So I've split them into those 2 accounts so that I can see which is which. And then I've also made myself a little savings tracker for our holiday fund. Our holiday this year got cancelled because of COVID. I'm speaking at the end of 2020. And it's actually, we're not going to be able to do it next year because things aren't okay enough. It would be in March. And the reason we were going on holiday was to go to an actual sporting event. So it's not like we could just go on that holiday any other time of the year. So we think we're probably going to end up doing that in 2022. But we do want to go on a little holiday in 2021. So I'm now having 2 holiday funds. I've got a 2021 one and a 2022 one. So I just want to keep track of that. I'm leaving in my wish list. I have updated it with things that I got for Christmas. So I'm just leaving that in there. Basically, this wish list forms for me any little thing that I think, oh, I want that. Instead of impulse buying it, I'm writing it on here so that then I can sort of think about it before I buy it. And then I'm also keeping in the gift list that I use. These are, again, the Simple Trendy Co. categorized lists. Next, we're going to move into home. And in here, this is where I'm making probably the biggest changes. So if you watched my my flip video not long ago, you'll have known I had a lot of trackers in here. I'm still doing a lot of trackers, but I have switched them up a bit. So the first thing I'm just going to put in is a service log. That's for household things, just for me to keep a record of when we're doing stuff. Like the other week, I couldn't remember when it was that we had the boiler service, and I had to look back through basically through my planner to see when it had happened. Thankfully, I keep a memory planner, I've got it written down, but sometimes it's just frustrating and I would rather just have a list. And then the biggest change comes with my trackers. So I was using this one, which is the day specific tracker for my cleaning, and I'm going to keep doing that for this for 2021. And I basically just have all of the things that ideally I would like to clean every week. I don't clean every week. I'm terrible at cleaning. These definitely do not all get cleaned every week, but I like to keep track of which ones I have done when, so that I can sort of say, oh, I've not cleaned the cupboard doors for 2 weeks, I should really do that. So that one's staying the same. The change comes in the two ones that I used to use the reoccurring tasks sheet for, and they are more longer term, not longer term, more sporadic cleaning things. So like oiling our chopping boards, cleaning the water filter, descaling the kettle, rotating the mattress, those, and also things that are stuff that needs doing that is more adulting type stuff. So like checking my tyres and the fluids, cleaning my car, getting burnt, wormed and flea'd, having a haircut, getting my brows done, getting my nails done, and make sure that I have a relaxing bath. Things like those, I basically combined into one insert that is this fold out, just so that it's a larger one, and also so that, because I found what I was doing was I was marking the month it needed doing, but I didn't know which week in the month. You know, some months are quite long. I needed it to be slightly more accurate. So, and some of them are things that actually I want to do weekly. So I've swapped to that one for that one. And then I've done the same with my products list. So this is a list of all of the products that I buy either in bulk, or that I have to go to a specific shop for, or that we have delivered. And I basically, I need a more accurate idea of how many weeks a product lasts. I was using the monthly one. That's not working. I need to know exactly how many weeks something lasts, so that, especially something that I have delivered, I need to know how many weeks that's going to last, so that then I can make sure that I've ordered the next lot ready. And same with, say, something that I go and get refilled. I need to know how long a bottle of something is going to last me, so that I can make sure that, like, the week before it's probably going to run out, or a couple of weeks before, I can actually take that bottle to get it refilled to the specific shop that I get it from. So yeah, and that again, it's on that day specific tasks checklist, which I completely ignore the day specific bit, I'm afraid. But I find it incredibly useful. But section hasn't changed at all. The next section though is health, and this one, again, I have gone ham with the trackers. I'll move into fitness first. So in here, that one's well-being. I don't need to keep that in here. I am still doing a few of the same trackers that I was doing. So I'm still tracking my steps. I'm still tracking my calories burnt. So that's my Apple Watch active calories, the little red one. I'm also tracking workouts. So I've really got on board with working out this year, even if it's just going for a walk, or at the moment I am completely obsessed with Peloton, and I want to actually track the actual workouts I'm doing rather than just the calories burnt. The next things that I've put trackers in here for are for my weight loss journey. So I was tracking my weight this year. I've also done myself one of these little goals ones, which I'm really chuffed with. My aim is to lose another like 10 kilos next year. I've done really well with it this year, and I just want to keep it going. So I've done myself a goals and rewards one, and then I've done the tracker that I use to actually record my weight. So basically on the day that I weigh myself, I write down how much it was, and then over the year I can see that number going down. I have also made myself a sheet for sins. I follow the Slim World diet, so I hate the word sins, but I am trying my best to get back into that. I've fallen off the wagon with tracking my sins. I'm still losing weight, but I'm not tracking it, and so I sort of want to get back onto keeping track of how many sins I'm using a day, just so that I can keep an eye on it, really. And then the one insert that I kept from this year is my body measurements. I don't do this very often, so for me to replace it with a new one, I just felt that was kind of pointless when there's so many entries still to go. So I'm going to keep that one in there. Next up, we've got well-being, and in here I've kept my recommended sheet because I've really been enjoying that this year. I've been finding that really helpful. If someone just says to me, oh, you'll really like this, Georgina, bang it on that list. And then when I'm sort of thinking, oh, I don't really know what book to read next or whatever, I can go and have a look. The other inserts that I'm popping in here, I'm using this fold out. This is from the Peanuts Planco Paid yearly bundle again. This one I'm going to try and use for my mood. I'm terrible at tracking moods, I'll be honest. I'm just not, I think I'm not invested in it really. So I'm not feeling like I need to, so I just don't. But it is something that I think is interesting to look back on. So I'm just basically going to do like a little smiley face or whatever in the little space for my mood. And then the only other two inserts that I've got to put in here are my books read insert. This one is from EO Edits. I love it. Obviously, it's a library card. And I used that one this year. I'm going to keep using it this year. Next year, sorry, for 2021. And then this one is kind of controversial because I kept saying I was going to remove this from my planner, but I really want to just keep it in there for now. This again is EO Edits, and this one is for recording films and TV, the date that I watched it, what it is, and whether I thought it was good or not. So I'm going to see whether I do use that. If I don't, it's getting the boot. But for now, I'm putting it in there. My books to read one, I really did use this year, and I don't use it as in books that I want to read. I actually use it to record the books that I have read. I've actually changed my goal though this year. It's part of my 21 in 2021 that I'm planning on doing. I've actually increased that to 50. So I'll have to do a bit of tip-hexing there. But yeah. So guys, that is my A6 rings setup for 2021. Cool. It's not too chunky. To be honest, the thing that chunks my planner at the most is the stickers. But yeah, so I'm really chuffed with how my system is going to look for the next year. Hopefully I can keep it functional for me, keep using it all. And of course I will do some updated system updates throughout the year if I do make any changes. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. I'm trying to post a couple of planner videos a month just to share my system and how I'm using it. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Bye.